Ever walked into a store looking for your favorite product, only to find it's gone without a trace? Well, get ready, because 2025 is bringing even more of that. From appliances you grew up with to everyday essentials, big brands are quietly pulling items off the shelves. Why? Changes in demand, rising costs, and some surprising reasons you won't believe. In this video, we're breaking down 20 popular products you won't find in stores much longer in 2025. 1. DVD and Blu-ray discs. Remember when going to Blockbuster was a Friday night ritual? Those days feel like ancient history now, and physical movie discs are following the same path into obsolescence. The writing is on the wall in big bold letters that even the most devoted collectors can't ignore. Target dropped a bombshell in 2024 when they announced they are eliminating their DVD and Blu-ray sections by 2025. Best Buy followed suit, pulling physical media from their shelves entirely. These aren't small decisions. They're reactions to brutal market realities. Physical disc sales plummeted 26% in just the third quarter of 2024 alone, while streaming services saw a 27% jump in the same period. The numbers tell a story of complete consumer abandonment. DVD and Blu-ray sales have fallen below $1 billion for the first time in the US, marking 16 straight years of decline. Netflix, the company that built its empire on mailing red envelopes full of DVDs, sent out its final disc in September 2023 after 25 years. Even they couldn't make the math work anymore. What killed the physical disc? Simple economics and convenience. Why pay $25 for a Blu-ray when you can stream the same movie for $10 monthly, along with thousands of others? Why wait for shipping or drive to a store when you can click play right now? The pandemic accelerated this shift, but it was always heading this direction. Movie studios are adapting by focusing entirely on digital releases and streaming exclusives. Disney barely prints physical copies anymore, except for collector's editions that cost triple the price. The few remaining disc buyers are hardcore collectors willing to pay premium prices for special features and commentary tracks that streaming services skip. The death of physical media means something bigger than just convenience. It's the end of truly owning your entertainment. When Netflix removes a movie from their catalog, it's gone. When your internet goes down, your entire movie collection becomes inaccessible. But for most people, that trade-off feels worth it for the sheer volume and instant access that streaming provides. 2. Gas-powered lawnmowers. The humble gas-powered lawnmower is getting outlawed across America, and it's happening faster than most people realize. California led the charge in 2024 by banning the sale of all new gas-powered lawn equipment, from mowers to leaf blowers to chainsaws. Colorado is following close behind with their own restrictions starting in 2025. This isn't just environmental virtue signaling, there's real science behind these bans. A gas-powered leaf blower running for 1 hour produces the same emissions as driving a car for 1,100 miles. Your weekend lawn mowing session pumps out more pollution than your daily commute. California's air quality regulators couldn't ignore those numbers anymore. The transition is happening in waves. Colorado banned state agencies from using gas-powered equipment during peak ozone season starting in 2025. Cities like Buena Park are going further, requiring all lawn equipment in the city to be electric by 2028, even for professional landscapers. Electric mowers have gotten scary good. Modern battery-powered models can handle the same yard size as gas mowers, they're quieter than a normal conversation, and they start every time with the push of a button. No more yanking starter cords, mixing oil and gas, or dealing with carburetor problems. The batteries last 30-45 minutes on average, which is plenty for most suburban lawns. Professional landscapers initially resisted because early electric equipment couldn't handle commercial workloads. But battery technology improved dramatically in the past 5 years. Companies like Ego and Greenworks now make commercial-grade electric mowers that can run all day with spare battery packs. California even allocated $30 million in rebates to help landscaping companies make the switch. The writing is on the wall nationwide. Minnesota introduced legislation to ban new gas mowers in 2025. Denver's Regional Air Quality Council voted to prohibit gas equipment sales. Over 100 cities and counties have some form of gas-powered equipment restrictions in place or planned. Your gas mower might still work fine, but finding a new one to buy is going to get much harder very soon. 3. Compact digital cameras. Point-and-shoot cameras are vanishing from store shelves because smartphones ate their lunch and left nothing behind. Why carry a separate device that does one thing when your phone takes better pictures and instantly shares them with the world? The camera industry is in freefall. Canon, Nikon, and Sony all pulled back from the compact camera market to focus on high-end DSLRs and mirrorless systems that smartphones can't match yet. The low-end and mid-range camera segments basically don't exist anymore outside of specialty outdoor and underwater models. It wasn't always this way. Digital cameras peaked around 2010 when everyone wanted better photos than their flip phone could provide. Cameras got smaller, added more features, and became essential vacation gear. But then something funny happened. Phone cameras got really good. Modern smartphones don't just take decent pictures, they take professional quality shots with computational photography that makes every photo look amazing. Night mode, portrait mode, automatic HDR, and AI-powered editing happen instantly without any technical knowledge. Your iPhone can shoot 4K video that looks better than what most people could achieve with a $2,000 camera setup just a few years ago. The convenience factor sealed the deal. You always have your phone with you, so you never miss a shot. Photos automatically back up to the cloud, get organized by date and location, and can be shared instantly. Compare that to digging through SD cards, transferring files to your computer, and uploading to social media manually. Camera stores are adapting by becoming photography education centers and high-end equipment specialists. The remaining market is split between professionals who need specialized gear and enthusiasts who view photography as a serious hobby. Everyone else is perfectly happy with their phone camera, and the pictures prove they're not missing much. 4. Landline phones. The landline phone is practically extinct in American homes, and 2025 might be the year it finally flatlines completely. Less than 25% of households still have a traditional home phone, and that number drops every year as older generations embrace smartphones or pass away. Young adults find landlines completely baffling. They have never lived in a world where you had to be in a specific location to make a phone call, where you couldn't see who was calling before answering, or where a busy signal meant you just had to wait and try again later. The whole concept feels as outdated as using a telegraph. Phone companies are actively encouraging customers to cancel their landline service. Verizon, AT&T, and other carriers make more money from wireless plans and internet service. Maintaining the copper wire infrastructure for landlines costs more than the revenue they generate, especially in rural areas where lines stretch for miles between customers. The few holdouts have specific reasons for keeping their landlines. Some older adults prefer the sound quality and reliability during power outages. Small businesses use them for fax machines and alarm systems. Emergency services sometimes struggle to locate cell phone callers as precisely as landline calls. But even those niche uses are disappearing. Fax machines can send documents over internet connections. Alarm systems use cellular or Wi-Fi communication. VoIP services like Google Voice provide landline-style service through internet connections at a fraction of the cost. Emergency location services for cell phones have improved dramatically with GPS and enhanced 911 systems. The infrastructure is literally being dismantled. Phone companies are removing copper lines and replacing them with fiber optic cables for internet service. New construction rarely includes landline wiring. The few remaining landline users are getting pushed toward internet-based phone service, whether they want it or not. 5. Single-use plastic bags. Plastic shopping bags are disappearing from checkout counters across the country as local and state governments ban them outright. What started as a few environmentally conscious cities has turned into a nationwide movement that's making disposable bags extinct. The momentum is undeniable. Over 400 cities and counties have banned single-use plastic bags, with more joining every month. 8 states have statewide bans in effect, and several more are considering legislation. Even conservative areas are jumping on board as the environmental and economic arguments become impossible to ignore. The bags cause obvious environmental problems. They blow around as litter, clog storm drains, end up in waterways, and take hundreds of years to decompose. Marine animals mistake them for food, which can be fatal. They are also surprisingly expensive for cities to clean up. Los Angeles spends $17 million annually just removing plastic bag litter. Retailers are embracing the change because plastic bags cost them money. Every bag given away at checkout is a direct expense, and stores hand out billions of them every year. Many retailers started charging for bags even before government mandates forced their hand. Target, Walmart, and other major chains are actively encouraging reusable bag use. The transition wasn't always smooth. Early bag bans led to complaints about inconvenience and forgot my bag's frustration. But behavioral change happened faster than anyone expected. Most shoppers adapted within months by keeping reusable bags in their cars or buying them at checkout when needed. Paper bags made a brief comeback as the eco-friendly alternative, but they have their own problems. Paper bags require more energy to produce, cost retailers more money, and create different waste streams. Many stores are encouraging customers to skip bags entirely for small purchases or bring their own containers. 6. Traditional incandescent light bulbs. Good old-fashioned incandescent light bulbs are being legislated out of existence as energy efficiency standards make them illegal to manufacture or import. The warm, familiar glow that lit American homes for over a century is giving way to LED alternatives, whether consumers like it or not. Federal efficiency standards that took effect in 2023 essentially banned traditional incandescent bulbs by requiring all light bulbs to produce at least 45 lumens per watt. Standard incandescent bulbs only manage about 15 lumens per watt, making them illegal to manufacture or import. Stores can still sell existing inventory, but once those shelves are empty, they won't be restocked. The transition has been rocky because early LED bulbs were terrible. They flickered, took time to warm up, produced harsh light, and cost way too much. Many people bought them, hated them, and went back to incandescents while they could still find them. But LED technology improved dramatically while prices crashed. Modern LEDs solve most of the early problems. They produce warm, natural light that's nearly identical to incandescent bulbs. They turn on instantly, don't flicker, and last 15 to 25 times longer than traditional bulbs. A LED that costs $3 today would have cost $50 just 10 years ago. The energy savings are massive. LEDs use 80% less electricity than incandescents. Smart bulbs are pushing the market even further beyond traditional incandescents. For slightly more money, you can get LED bulbs that change color, dim automatically, sync with music, or turn on and off with voice commands. These features would be impossible with old-fashioned bulbs. Some specialty incandescent bulbs remain available for specific uses like ovens, decorative fixtures, and antique reproductions. But for general home lighting, the incandescent era is officially over. Most people won't miss them once they experience the convenience and savings of modern alternatives. 7. Paper maps. Folded paper maps are disappearing from gas stations, bookstores, and glove compartments as GPS navigation makes them completely unnecessary. When was the last time you saw someone struggling to refold a road atlas or asking for directions at a gas station? The transformation happened incredibly fast. Just 20 years ago, printed maps were essential for any road trip longer than your daily commute. MapQuest directions printed on paper were cutting-edge technology. AA triptych maps were serious business for vacation planning. Now all of that seems as quaint as using a sundial to tell time. Smartphones killed paper maps by being better in every possible way. GPS navigation provides turn-by-turn directions with real-time traffic updates, automatic rerouting around accidents, and voice guidance so you don't have to look away from the road. Google Maps knows about construction, road closures, and even speed traps. The convenience factor is unbeatable. Your phone always knows exactly where you are, where you're going, and the best route to get there. It updates automatically as conditions change. You can search for destinations by name, category, or even by taking a picture of an address. Paper maps require you to know exactly where you are and where you want to go before they're any help at all. Emergency situations sealed the deal for most people. When your car breaks down or you get lost, your phone can call for help and provide your exact location to emergency services. Paper maps become useless the moment you don't know where you are on them. The few remaining paper map users are outdoor enthusiasts who need detailed topographic information for hiking, hunting, or off-road activities where cell service might be unreliable. But even there, GPS units and offline mapping apps are taking over. The paper map industry has shrunk to a tiny niche market that gets smaller every year. 8. 3G phones and devices. 3G phones and devices stopped working entirely in 2022 when major carriers shut down their 3G networks, but millions of people are still discovering their old devices are now useless hunks of plastic and metal. The 3G shutdown created the largest forced technology upgrade in telecommunications history. The transition caught many people off guard because 3G phones didn't gradually get worse. They just stopped working completely when the network shut down. One day you could make calls and send texts. The next day your phone displayed no service permanently. No amount of troubleshooting could fix it because the infrastructure literally no longer existed. Carriers needed the radio spectrum that 3G used for newer 4G and 5G networks that handled data much more efficiently. They gave customers years of warning and offered free phone upgrades, but millions of people ignored the notices or didn't understand them until it was too late. Verizon shut down their 3G network in December 2022, followed by AT&T and T-Mobile in 2023. The shutdown affected more than just phones. Car navigation systems, medical alert devices, alarm systems, and industrial equipment that relied on 3G connections stopped working overnight. Some people found themselves stranded when their car's emergency assistance systems failed. Home security systems went offline without warning. Older adults were hit particularly hard because they were more likely to use basic 3G phones and less likely to understand the technical notices from their carriers. Many discovered their phones were obsolete only when they tried to call 911 during an emergency. Consumer advocacy groups called it a digital divide problem that left vulnerable populations without communication. 9. Checkbooks. Personal checkbooks are becoming as rare as cursive handwriting skills, and most young adults have never written a check in their lives. Banks still offer them, but fewer people order checkbooks each year as digital payments take over completely. The decline happened gradually until it reached a tipping point where checks became awkward and inconvenient for everyone involved. Most retailers stopped accepting checks because they slow down checkout lines and require special processing. Many banks charge fees for check processing that make them more expensive than electronic alternatives. Mobile banking apps made checks unnecessary for most transactions. You can pay bills, transfer money, split dinner costs, and send payments to individuals instantly from your phone. Venmo, Zelle, and similar services handle person-to-person payments that used to require writing checks. Online bill pay eliminates the need to mail payments. Businesses adapted by requiring electronic payments or charging extra fees for check processing. Utility companies offer discounts for automatic payments. Rent payments can be made through apps. Even small businesses use Square, PayPal, or similar services that let them accept card payments easily. The few remaining check users are typically older adults who prefer familiar payment methods or people making payments to individuals or businesses that don't accept electronic payments. Some landlords still require checks, and certain business transactions work better with paper documentation, but even those holdouts are shrinking rapidly. Younger landlords use online payment platforms. Business-to-business payments increasingly happen through electronic transfers. Banks are pushing customers toward digital services because processing paper checks costs them money, while electronic transactions are nearly free. 10. Non-smart TVs. If a TV can't connect to the internet, it's probably not flying off the shelves anymore, and manufacturers have pretty much stopped making them entirely. Finding a dumb TV in 2025 is like searching for a flip phone, technically possible but increasingly pointless. The transformation happened because adding internet connectivity became cheaper than not including it. Smart TV platforms generate ongoing revenue through advertising, app commissions, and data collection. Manufacturers can sell TVs at lower prices because they make money after the sale through content partnerships and user data. Streaming services drove consumer demand for internet-connected TVs. Why buy a separate streaming device when the TV can access Netflix, YouTube, and Amazon Prime directly? Smart TVs eliminated the need for cable boxes, DVD players, and external streaming devices for most users. One device does everything. The few non-smart TVs still being made are either very small models for kitchens and bedrooms or commercial displays designed for businesses. Consumer TVs over 32 inches are almost universally smart TVs because that's what buyers expect and want. Some privacy-conscious consumers actively seek out non-smart TVs to avoid data collection and internet-connected vulnerabilities. But they're fighting a losing battle as manufacturers phase out non-connected models entirely. The market has decided that smart features are mandatory, not optional. Even people who want basic TVs end up with smart features because the non-smart alternatives are either unavailable or more expensive. You can choose not to connect a smart TV to the internet, but you will pay the same price as someone who uses all the connected features. The economics only works one way now. 11. Gas-powered vehicles. Your favorite gas-guzzling ride might be living on borrowed time, and some car companies are already planning its funeral. The shift isn't happening slowly anymore. It's picking up serious speed, and certain gas-powered models are about to become museum pieces. Jaguar announced it's going electric only by 2025, while General Motors plans to ditch gas completely by 2035. That's not some distant future. We're talking about car models that might not even get a 2026 refresh. Volvo wants to phase out every single internal combustion engine by 2030, including hybrids. Even Honda, the company that built its reputation on reliable gas engines, announced they're stopping gas car sales by 2040. The government is pushing hard too. California banned new gas car sales starting with 2035 models, and other states are following like dominoes falling. New Jersey and New Mexico recently joined the phase-out party. The federal government plans to end gas vehicle purchases by 2035, which means a huge chunk of the market just disappeared. Here's the thing that's really wild. New rules want 60% of vehicles sold to be electric by 2030, compared to just 6% today. That's not a gradual change, that's like flipping a switch. Car dealerships are already preparing for this reality by expanding their electric vehicle sections and reducing floor space for traditional cars. Some gas models are getting the axe faster than others. Small sedans and compact cars are first on the chopping block because they are easier to electrify. Big trucks and SUVs get a temporary reprieve, but even Ford's F-150 Lightning proves that electric versions of gas giants are totally doable. The charging infrastructure is finally catching up to demand. Fast charging stations are popping up everywhere, and new electric cars can charge from 10% to 80% in under 30 minutes. Range anxiety is becoming less of an issue as new models routinely hit 300+ miles per charge. But here's what nobody talks about. Used gas cars might become more valuable in the short term as new ones disappear from dealer lots. Classic car collectors are already eyeing the last production runs of iconic gas engines as future investments. Your 2024 Mustang GT might be worth more in 2035 than it is today. 12. Standalone GPS devices. Those chunky GPS units that used to suction cup to your windshield are basically extinct, and the few still hanging around in electronics stores look as outdated as flip phones. Garmin and TomTom tried everything to stay relevant, but smartphones won this battle so completely it wasn't even close. TomTom has transitioned away from devices to software applications instead, which is corporate speak for we gave up on hardware. Garmin has been seeing 10 to 15% quarterly declines in their automotive GPS sales for years. The writing was on the wall a decade ago, and now the wall has fallen down entirely. The problem was never that standalone GPS devices were bad. They were actually pretty good at what they did. The problem was that smartphones do everything GPS devices do, plus a million other things, and you already carry your phone everywhere anyway. Why have two devices when one works better? Modern phone GPS apps blow standalone units out of the water in every category that matters. Google Maps updates traffic conditions in real time, reroutes around accidents automatically, and shows you exactly where to find the cheapest gas along your route. Waze crowdsourced traffic info from millions of users, so it knows about speed traps, road hazards, and construction before official sources do. The convenience factor sealed the deal. Your phone's GPS automatically syncs with your contacts, so you can navigate to mom's house or work with 2 taps. It integrates with your calendar to suggest leaving times for appointments. It can text your estimated arrival time to whoever you're meeting. Standalone GPS units never offered any of this because they weren't connected to your digital life. Battery life used to be the standalone GPS advantage, but that evaporated with car chargers, wireless charging pads, and improved phone batteries. Modern phones last all day for navigation, and every car has USB ports or wireless charging built in now. The few people still buying standalone GPS units are either very old-school drivers who don't trust smartphones or outdoor enthusiasts who need ruggedized units for hiking and camping. Garmin still sells handheld GPS units for outdoor use, with their top model costing $600. But even that market is shrinking as phone GPS works offline with downloaded maps. Rental car companies stopped including GPS as an add-on option because everyone just uses their phone. Car manufacturers stopped integrating standalone GPS systems in favor of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto that mirror your phone's navigation apps. The entire ecosystem moved on. 13. CD players. Compact discs are having their blockbuster moment, except it's happening in slow motion across multiple decades. CD players in cars, homes, and portable devices are disappearing as streaming services make physical music obsolete in ways that feel both inevitable and slightly sad for anyone who remembers the magic of buying a new album. Car manufacturers stopped including CD players in most new vehicles starting around 2020. BMW, Mercedes, and other luxury brands led the charge, followed by mainstream manufacturers who needed the dashboard space for touchscreens and smartphone integration. New cars have USB ports, Bluetooth, and wireless phone connectivity, but no slot for your old Dave Matthews CDs. Home stereo systems with CD players are becoming specialty items sold mainly to audiophiles and nostalgic music lovers. Big box stores stopped devoting significant shelf space to CD players because demand collapsed. The ones still available are either super cheap portable units or expensive audiophile equipment with no middle ground. Streaming killed CDs the same way it killed DVDs, but music streaming happened faster and more completely. Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music offer millions of songs instantly for less than the cost of buying one CD per month. New music often debuts on streaming platforms before physical releases, if physical releases happen at all. The sound quality argument that kept audiophiles buying CDs has mostly evaporated with high-quality streaming and lossless audio options. Spotify's highest quality setting delivers audio that most people can't distinguish from CD quality, especially through headphones or car speakers that aren't audiophile grade anyway. Portable CD players became completely pointless once smartphones could store thousands of songs and stream millions more. Why carry a separate device that only plays music when your phone handles music, podcasts, audiobooks, and everything else? Even workout enthusiasts who wanted dedicated music devices switched to lightweight Bluetooth earbuds connected to phones or smartwatches. The CD format itself isn't completely dead. Some artists still release physical albums for collectors and fans who want something tangible. But the players who actually use those CDs are becoming rare and expensive specialty items rather than common household electronics. 14. Basic calculators. The humble calculator that got you through high school math class is joining the ranks of obsolete technology, pushed out by smartphone apps that are more powerful, always available, and cost nothing extra. Physical calculators are still sold, but they are increasingly pointless for most people who need to add, subtract, multiply, or divide things. Every smartphone has a calculator app that works better than most handheld calculators. iPhone and Android calculators handle basic math, scientific functions, unit conversions, and tip calculations. They display bigger, clearer numbers than most physical calculators, and the touchscreens are more responsive than sticky calculator buttons. Voice assistants made calculators even more obsolete for quick calculations. You can ask Siri, Google Assistant, or Alexa to solve math problems faster than you can dig a calculator out of a drawer and punch in numbers. Hey Google, what's 15% of 247? Gets an instant answer without touching anything. The calculator functions that people actually use in real life, splitting restaurant bills, calculating tips, figuring out sale prices, converting measurements, are built into dozens of specialized apps that work better than generic calculators. Tip calculators show exactly how much each person owes. Shopping apps calculate sale prices and tax automatically. Recipe apps convert measurements between metric and imperial units. Graphing calculators still have a foothold in education because many math teachers and standardized tests require specific models. The TI-84 calculator costs the same $100 plus it did 20 years ago because Texas Instruments has a virtual monopoly on education-approved calculators. But even this market is under pressure as schools embrace tablets and laptops with better math software. Office workers who used to keep calculators on their desks now use spreadsheet software that handles complex calculations automatically. Accountants and bookkeepers use specialized software that makes handheld calculators look like counting on fingers. Small business owners use apps that calculate taxes, inventory, and profit margins in real time. Basic calculators failed to evolve beyond simple arithmetic, while the world moved to devices that solve any math problem instantly and store the results for later use. A calculator app remembers your calculation history, shares results with other apps, and handles more functions than most people knew existed. 15. Fax machines. Fax machines are the living dead of office equipment, technically still functional but so outdated they feel like archaeological artifacts. Most people under 30 have never sent a fax and would need instructions to operate one of these beeping, whirring relics from the 1980s business world. The technology behind fax machines is genuinely ancient by modern standards. They transmit documents by converting images into audio tones sent over phone lines, which sounds ridiculous when you can email high-resolution photos instantly or share documents through cloud services that sync across all your devices automatically. Email killed most fax usage by being faster, cheaper, and more reliable. You can attach multiple documents to an email, send them to dozens of people simultaneously, and have confirmation that they were delivered and opened. Fax machines produce blurry copies that jam frequently and provide no delivery confirmation unless you request a return receipt that uses more paper. Digital document signing eliminated the last major reason people used fax machines. Services like DocuSign, Adobe Sign, and HelloSign let you sign contracts and legal documents electronically with digital signatures that are more secure and legally valid than faxed signatures. The documents stay in electronic format throughout the entire process, which means better quality and easier storage. Cloud sharing services like Google Drive, Dropbox, and OneDrive make document collaboration seamless in ways that fax machines never could. Multiple people can edit the same document simultaneously, see changes in real time, and access files from any device. Compare that to faxing a document back and forth for revisions, making copies of copies until the text is unreadable. The few industries still using fax machines are mostly stuck due to outdated regulations or institutional inertia. Some healthcare providers use faxes because of privacy regulations written before secure email existed. Legal offices keep fax machines for dealing with courts that haven't modernized their systems. But even these holdouts are switching to internet-based fax services that look like email but technically count as faxes for regulatory purposes. Modern fax services like eFax and HelloFax let you send and receive faxes through email or smartphone apps without owning a physical fax machine. These services exist mainly to communicate with organizations too stubborn or bureaucratic to join the 21st century. It's like having a rotary phone app on your smartphone just in case you need to call someone who only accepts rotary dial calls. Which of these disappearing products will you miss the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates like this.